my pleasure to welcome, after a very brisk walk from the other side of campus, the 22nd President of Trinity College, Joanne Berger-Sweeney, to offer opening remarks.
All right. Hello. And how awesome is it to be here today, together inside, even though outside's kind of beautiful, but it's really a pleasure for me. So, I think, is it on or off? Okay. Maybe it's this. Thank you for another year of inspiring leadership here for athletics. And also I want to say welcome to all of you to the 2022 Athletics Award Ceremony. This fantastic end-of-year event provides an opportunity for us to come together, celebrate your hard work, our Bantam spirit, and the very best of what Trinity College represents. Even though the ongoing challenges that the pandemic has continued to present, you excelled. And as president, I cherish each occasion to recognize the commitment to excellence our students routinely demonstrate. It's an important reminder, really, of why I do what I do and why I love my job. For all of you, that commitment to excellence was not only revealed in the classroom, but also on the court, on the field, on the ice, on the track, and in the pool, on the river. Can't forget the river. And you represented Trinity Athletics proudly in all of those spaces. Now, before I go any further, I want to offer my congratulations to all of you athletes for a job well done. You've competed, you've persevered, and you have proudly worn the blue and gold. So to each and every one of you, I say congratulations. Now, also, someone has to check this statistic for me, but I heard that, so there are 30 varsity teams, and I have heard that 29 of the 30 teams have GPAs that are higher than the college average. Is that still correct? That's what I heard. When I come back next year, how many should it be? 30 of 50. So, congratulations to all of you. The value of college athletics can never be undersold. Sports really is a fundamental part of the American culture and really uniquely unifying in its power on college campuses and well beyond. It's interesting because I was checking in with a student that I've known really since his birth, and he's at UConn. And I asked him to share with me at the end of his first year what some of the highlights of the year were. And several of them involved athletics. So I'm wondering of the people here, the students, if you count some of your best moments of this academic year, how many of them included athletics in some way? You can raise your hands just so I can see. Quite a few of you. Now, I hope there were also satisfying experiences in the classroom and other places, but I think quite a few of them do happen in our athletics programs. And if you've heard me speak in the last 2 weeks, you have heard me share that I saw a presentation from the Campus Climate Committee, or the results of the last Campus Climate Survey. And it wasn't the environment outside, it was more the environment, climate, inclusivity on the campus. And students were asked where they felt most included. What do you think the #1 answer was? I mean, this is across all students at Trinity College. Where was it? Can't hear. Actually, it was with your teams. So, you know, congratulations, because that sense of inclusion, being a part of a campus, clearly athletics is doing as well and better than any place else. In fact, according to the survey, even better than we're doing in the classrooms right now. So maybe we have something to learn and a model that we can use about what and how to make students feel included as they do on our teams. So, to you students, you have learned to balance the demands of your primary job here. Obviously, that's your education, but also the demands of being a student athlete and a member of a team. And those skills will serve you very well for a very long time. I will tell you, I serve on an NCAA President's Council. So there are, I believe, about 20 presidents of Division III institutions that get together and basically make all of the rules now, or have to approve all of the rules for Division III. What I can tell you, having sat in those meetings, is that not all of the institutions that I hear about achieve this balance between education and athletics. And I think that our institution represents that better than virtually any institution in the country. I think y'all should give yourselves a hand for doing that. Now, I'm a sports fan myself, and I've certainly been to a number of the games here. I've seen a number here in the hosting gym, as well as out in various places. And I know that what you have learned are core values, the true meaning of hard work, but also that's combined with your love of athletics. But I also hope you remember the hours of practice, the losses, the lessons learned, and importantly, the win. Can I say especially the wins against your NESCAC rivals? Winning does matter. And because of that same tenacity, as a student athlete, it will help you succeed well beyond your years here. And that you will become an active citizen in your community, just as you have been an active member on the team. So I want to thank you for all your commitment, not only to the rigors of the classroom, but also to your dedication to meeting and exceeding the expectations that your teammates and coaches set for you. Each passing year, you will continue to raise the bar for what it means to be a scholar athlete. For our departing seniors, the talent, distinction, and legacy you leave behind, they will serve as a benefit to the athletics program for the better, while also providing an important roadmap for future bantams to follow and succeed. I hope your love and care for Trinity continue as you become proud alums of our institution. and that you also remain active in supporting all of these teams to which you have belonged and which are so cherished here at Trinity. But I also want to say a thank you to the coaches, staff, administrators, and faculty. Your commitment to and support of the players, to your commitment to their futures, and to helping instill pride in this critical component of the campus life is really valued. I want to congratulate all of the award winners and their teammates on the wonderful accomplishments of this year. So, thank you, and go Bands.
We all thought that we'd get rich fast, hopped the plane out for green grass. Found out the green is cash, no compare to friends at last. See, we won't forget where we came from. The city won't change us, we beat to the same drum. No, we won't forget where we came from. The city can't change us, we beat to the same drum, the same drum. Sunglasses, red, gold, and mini bands. People who had your back when the world didn't understand. See, we won't forget where we came from. The city won't change us, we beat to the same drum. No, we won't forget where we came from. The city can't change us, we beat to the same drum, the same drum.
Thank you, President Berger-Sweeney, for starting us off, and we will now move into the awards portion of the evening. Presenting our first two awards is Assistant Athletic Director James Shelkowski.
The Bantam Award was given to the college by Raymond A. Montgomery, class of 1925. It is presented annually to a non-student who has made a distinguished contribution to the Trinity sports programs. The nominees are Ben Straka, Head Athletic Trainer; Amber Pitt, Assistant Professor and Faculty Liaison; Penny Lawrence, Equipment Manager; Penny Lawrence. What can you say about Penny, right? I've been here a few years and she's touched a lot of people along her time here. We were in my office the other day, just chatting up, and she says, James, I've been here a very long time. I said, Penny, I just learned you're going to be here for 30 years this summer. So just imagine that. Her dedication, her support to not just other staff members, but to all of you student athletes, stretches back 30 years. And I couldn't think of anybody more deserving to get that award. So, Penny, congratulations. The next award is the Larry Silver Award. It is named in memory of Lawrence Silver, class of 1964, who was killed in a bombing mission in Vietnam. The award is presented annually to a student who, by vote of the athletic department staff, has contributed most of the Trinity Athletic program as a non-player. The nominees are Ryan Morris, Amr Amgawish. The winner of this year's Larry Silver Award is Amr Amgawish. I also get to say a couple words about Amr. I had the pleasure of meeting Amr in the fall, and he stepped in to do one job for our department, and he's done so much more throughout the year. And his nomination came from more than a few people in our department. He's been willing to step in and help wherever we needed help as a student worker. He's done much more than we ever thought he would, and he's done it with passion, dedication, and with a smile. And I couldn't think of anybody else I would have nominated for this award, and I think it's very deserving. And a lot of the traits that he portrays here, I hope you continue to portray, and you do great out there as well. Congratulations, Alan.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, we had an emergency in the building in the fall, and it's something that we all were always concerned about, as we have so many student workers in the building running operations after normal business hours, and Amr was the individual who really kept things under control and made sure that a student who was having an emergency in the fitness center was safe and got the appropriate medical attention they need. So Amr, we can't thank you enough for stepping in that moment, and the entire community thanks you for that, so thank you. So now we'll move to the Robert R. Bartlett Awards. Presenting those awards is Associate Athletic Director Kristen Newton.
Thank you, Drew.
The Robert R. Bartlett Awards were established in 1992 by Mrs. Louise Bartlett and friends in honor of the 60th anniversary of her late husband's graduation from Trinity in 1929. The awards are presented annually to members of a men's and women's team who have combined excellence in athletics with devotion to community and/or campus service. The nominees on a men's team are Kennard Hughes, track and field; Kevin Liskawa, wrestling; Devontae Reed, football and track and field. And the winner is Kennard Hughes. Now I'd like to call up head track and field coach Don Michael Mason to say a few words about Kennard.
Congrats to all the nominees. Devontae, you can settle that on the track with Kennard later. Kennard Hughes is one of those rare individuals who can almost single-handedly elevate a program. Single-handedly, perhaps even elevate an entire campus. It's not just that he makes his coaches look good, he makes his coaches want to do their job. And spoke about Kennard a little bit at our team banquet. And hard not to get emotional, knowing how much effort he has put into being a Trinity student athlete over these 4 years. For this award, Kennard has been very involved since the time that he got here. He's a Posse Scholar who helped found the Athletes of Color Coalition early in his time here and now serves as president of that coalition. He's a Cultural Houses Coordinator for Umoja and also intern for the Career and Life Design Center. He's been a Student Athlete Advisory Council representative and has been involved in a variety of initiatives across campus as part of his various roles. One thing that during the pandemic took a special pride in was helping the team get involved with sign-up and deliver a bunch of backpacks to neighborhood kids starting the school year during the crazy time that was last year. Kennard is one of the top-ranked triple jumpers in the country. He's been in multiple All-New England accolades, an SCAC champion, and a future All-American if we finish out this season and what we intend to do. I know many of you know Kennard. We're going to miss him very much, and I know his team's inspired by him. I hope you all are. Kennard Hughes.
Thank you, Coach Mason. The nominees on a women's team are Mia Conti, track and field; Emmeline Patry, field hockey; Colleen Quinn, rowing; and Jordan Stephen, softball. And the winner on the women's side is Mia Conti.
forgot to mention that Kennard was the captain of the men's track and field team. He's co-captain of the women's track and field team, is Mia Conte. So we're pretty lucky to have this dynamic duo leading the team at Trinity. We always talk about our team as a family, and I think that there's no one who embodies that more than Mia. Her teammates look to her as a leader, and I'm so proud of how she's grown over the last 4 years. And all the groups that she's a part of. I think she treats those that she loves and those she's close with as a family, and we've been very fortunate to have her here at Trinity College. From day one, she's been very involved. She was a tour guide in admissions and eventually became a senior admissions associate. She's participated in many programs within Hartford and on campus, including a program over the summer in her sophomore year that explored the Latinx experience in Hartford. She's worked at a startup company called Round 21, which worked on social justice and mental health awareness. She's also a member of the Athletes of Color Coalition. Has done a lot of work with photography on campus for sports and communications and for the communications department at large, trying to elevate those teammates around her and classmates through inclusion and diversity. She worked closely with the chair of the board on the President's Commission during that 6-month initiative during the pandemic, and presented to all the trustees and helped them on many topics and conversations, but especially on systemic racism in higher education. She recently was asked by an alum to help be a photographer, but also work on an event in January called the Carnegie Initiative, which works to promote inclusivity and acceptance within hockey for the NHL. And that was unveiled in Boston with the Boston Bruins at a night earlier this year. I could go on, and eventually we start to run together. Mia's done so much for this campus, for our team, if you can't tell. We're going to miss her very much. Mia Conte.
It's now our pleasure to honor a coach retiring after 30 years of service to the institution, 50 years overall as a cross-country and track coach. And to help us honor George Suter this afternoon, I've asked Rick Hazelton. Rick was Trinity's athletic director from 1982 until 2010, and a member of the Trinity Athletics Hall of Fame, to speak about our beloved Coach Suter. Rick?
It was 1992, 30 years ago, George, that we hired you here at Trinity College to run the women's and men's cross-country, women's and men's indoor sport, and being an assistant in the outdoor programs. And then later on taking over that program. So it was great. It came very highly recommended from Manchester. He spent 28 years coaching high school track at Manchester High School, and then came here and spent another 30 years with us. So that's a long, long time. That's a lot of javelin throws, and that's a lot of sprints and so forth that he had to do. So I just want to congratulate you on the career that you had here. I know that during 2000 to 2010, we had a lot of sports seem to just gel together and win national championships and go to tournaments and so forth. And George's teams were involved in that 6 times out of the 10 years. They went to the NCAA in cross country. I was there in 2003 when the women came in second. Down at Hanover College in southern Indiana. It was an exciting time, other than the fact that Millbury won it. But it was a close race, and it's to be at that level. I know we have teams at that level here now, and we've had in the past. It's exciting to see them to get into national competition and do well and get the name of Trinity out there. So George, congratulations on your career. I don't know what you're going to do with yourself afterwards, after 58 years, 57, whatever it was, as a track coach, but I'm sure somebody will get their talents in you and get some information from you. So congratulations, George.
Now we'd like to recognize the senior athletes who've been inducted into Chi Alpha Sigma Honor Society. Chi Alpha Sigma recognizes college student athletes who participate in a sport at the varsity level, achieve junior academic standing or higher in their 5th full-time semester, and earn a 3.683 or higher cumulative grade point average. Those who were inducted in their junior year are honored in their senior year at this annual reception. We'll be announcing inductees from the class of 2023 in a release on Bantam Sports later this week. Please hold your applause till all the recipients are recognized, and we ask all of everyone who's named to please come forward and receive your pin, and then we'll do a group photo at the end. So fortunately for us, as President Berger Sweeney mentioned before, this is a long list. So Leslie Angus, lacrosse. Sam Muma, lacrosse. Come on down. Tyler Brennan, rowing. Emily Caprini, swimming and diving. Alex Chambers, softball. Grace Chenard, swimming and diving. Grace Coe, lacrosse. Ali Condi, volleyball, track and field. Marta Drausnick, tennis. Jimmy Fahey. Peter Finnecane, cross country, track and field. Marina Flandrick, track and field. Anis Gadun, soccer, swimming and diving. Antonio Corolla, rowing. Brenna Hoare, soccer. Charlie Kilborn, tennis. Ellie Kirkpatrick, lacrosse. Haley Kukos, soccer. Locke Bluno, volleyball. Han Lynch, rowing. Bailey McKeon, ice hockey. Cassidy McNeely, ice hockey. Alex Sledzinski, football. Alex Sawinski, rowing. Jack Steckler, golf. Jordan Stephen, softball. Jack Stone, rowing. Caroline Sullivan, soccer. Amina Taher, squash. Liam Tucker, lacrosse. Aurelia Umholz, swimming and diving. Nadia Senko, squash, track and field. And Tommy Walsh, football. These are your class of 22 Chi Alpha Sigma honorees. Now we will move into our individual senior academic awards for members of a men's and women's team, the ECAC Award and the Susan E. Martin Award. Both of our honorees achieved a cumulative GPA of higher than 4.0, and we had many athletes with exemplary academic records who are considered for these two awards. Outstanding Scholar Athlete Award is presented annually to the senior on a men's team who's voted the most outstanding in athletics and scholarship. This year's ECAC award winner is Jimmy Fahey. Congrats, Jim.
All right, so during his 4 years at Trinity, Jimmy has defined what it is to be a student athlete, excelling both on the field and in the classroom. On the academic side, he will graduate with above a 4.0 GPA as a biomedical engineering major. No pressure, Jim. I assumed your GPA will stay high. Is a 3-time, soon-to-be 4-time NESCAC all-academic team member. Has earned the college's physics prize and has received faculty honors in every semester while at Trinity. On the field, he was an integral part of a team that reached the regional final in 2019, and this year posted a 4.38 ERA that included a complete game win over number 23 ranked Tufts. Jim was named captain this year and has always set the standard for what it takes to be a member of the baseball program. His work ethic, commitment to excellence, and competitive nature are the reasons why he has had success in all areas of his life. Jim, I say this lovingly, I would not have called you brilliant, nor a superior talent on the baseball field when you arrived here at Trinity. But, to his credit, over the last 4 years, you have certainly worked yourself into one of the most dynamic student athletes on this campus and the entire NESCAC. Congratulations, Jim. You are certainly deserving of this award. Love you, man.
We were all waiting for the button in that sentence. The Susan E. Martin Outstanding Student Athlete Award is presented annually to the senior on a women's team who has combined excellence on the fields of competition with excellence in the classroom. This prestigious award was established in 1978 from proceeds of pledges to runners who competed in the faculty-student marathon race. Should we bring that back, President Burgess-Sweeney? Yeah. And was named in the honor of Susie Martin, 71, who was one of the first Trinity women to compete in intercollegiate athletics. This year's Susan E. Martin Award winner is Nadia Yusenko from women's squash.
Academically, Nadia has a cum GPA of above 4.0, majoring in language and cultural studies, and minoring in writing, rhetoric, and media studies. Her academic accomplishments are many. She has received faculty honors for 4 years, made NESCAC all-academic team for 4 years, and was College Squash Association's Scholar Athlete her junior and senior years. And they only give it out junior and senior years. And she's a Language and Cultural Studies President's Fellow this year. And as you just saw, she was awarded Chi Alpha Sigma last year and this year. And yesterday at Honors Day, Nadia was awarded the Barberry Endowment Prize and the Book Prize for Excellence in Language. Although Nadia has been an outstanding student, she also excelled as a player on the squash team. In true Nadia fashion, when I asked the players her first year what they wanted to accomplish, Nadia said she wanted to be the Terminator. And that she was throughout her entire squash career. Her career record is 46-8, and this past season, as captain of the team, she lost only one match to finish 13-1. However, the most important thing about Nadia is the way in which she achieved all these accomplishments. Nadia has the most amazing ability to persevere under the most arduous circumstances. She had a severe shoulder injury this year and had to train under very strict guidelines that Fran imposed on her, which of course drove her nuts. She was always asking me, just one more minute on the court, one more minute on the court. We'd drag her off. And all the while, especially later in the season, she was dealing with the anxiety, concern, and fear for her family and friends in her homeland, Ukraine. Despite these challenges, Nadia has showed such strength and courage and led the team through all our ups and downs with incredible strength. Oh, and by the way, just to make sure she didn't have too much time on her hands, after our season ended, Nadia joined the track team and made it to the NESCAC champions in the 800-meter event. I don't know that much about track, but that was right. So for 4 years, no matter how she is feeling, physically or mentally, she has exuded diligence, conscientiousness, and a never-say-die attitude, which led her to a great deal of success here at Trinity and will lead her to much more success upon graduation. We're going to miss you, Nadia.
Congratulations to Jimmy and Nadia. The Trinity Club of Hartford and George Sheldon McCook trophies are our two top awards and are the athletic distinction most coveted at the college. Annually awarded by the captains of all varsity teams to a senior on a men's team and a senior on a women's team who are in good scholastic standing on the basis of distinction in athletics. In determining the award, diligence and conscientiousness in the observance of all rules of drill, training, and discipline are taken into account, as well as courtesy, self-control, uprightness, and honor at all times, but especially in athletic sports and contests. The George Sheldon McCook Trophy was a gift from Professor and Mrs. John James McCook in 1902 in memory of their son George, class of 1897. Following graduation, George fought in the Spanish-American War, went to Paris for postgraduate study, and died there after a short illness. George Sheldon McCook was a member of the football, basketball, and baseball teams and president of his class. The nominees for the 2022 George Sheldon McCook Trophy are Jonathan Gerard, football; Devontae Reed, football and track and field; Donald Jordan Jr., basketball; Jimmy Fahey, baseball; Lucas Michaud, ice hockey. The winner of this year's George Sheldon McCook Trophy is Lucas Michaud from men's ice hockey.
First of all, that's a really impressive list of nominees. I could have gotten any of them, obviously. But congratulations to Lucas, and I'll tell you a little bit about him. So Lucas came to campus here, and in his first year on campus, he was named the NESCAC Rookie of the Year. He was second team All-NESCAC. He led our team in scoring, and he led the entire NESCAC in rookie scoring that year. He also assisted on the game-winning goal in our NESCAC championship that was a top 10 on SportsCenter, actually. Sophomore year, Lucas continued his success as a first-team All-American. He was 14th in the nation in scoring, and he was a NESCAC All-Academic nominee. His junior year, much like everybody in this room, got ripped away from him due to the pandemic, and he couldn't really control his athletics, but he could control his academics, and that year he also earned All-Academic NESCAC award. Senior year, unanimously voted by the team to be one of the captains, and was our captain. He was a NESCAC Player of the Year. He was first team All-NESCAC, All-New England, and very prestigious award being an All-American, and will hang in the ring forever. I think, certainly as coaches, it's our job to impart our wisdom, our belief, our way of thinking to maximize your potential, and as a result, the potential of the team. And we do that to the best of our abilities, but I think the beauty of what we have as coaches is that we get to learn from you. And being in Trinity, we get to be around brilliant people, people who are motivated, and people who are elite athletes. And I've got to learn a lot from the players I've gotten to coach, but I want to share with you just a few things that I've been fortunate enough to learn from Lucas in my 4 years being able to coach him. First is the importance of emotional control. Okay, Lucas, day in and day out, I don't know if we're winning ain't nothing, losing ain't nothing, if it's the worst day of his life, the best day of his life, he has a directness of purpose and a consistency to everything he does in life. Okay, his standard is high, and his emotions are always on the right side of that excellent standard. The second thing is the importance of quiet leadership. I think too often the loudest voice in the room becomes a leader, and that's not always the best situation. I think those leaders need to be thoughtful, and if you don't have anything constructive to say, don't say it, but if you do, certainly stand up and say it, and Lucas did that time and again. I think leading by example is something that gets overused. So what? You showed up and did what you were supposed to do. Leading by example is different than quiet leadership, and quiet leadership brings everybody else along with you, and that's what Lucas did this year. He brought the entire team along with him, the youngest team in the NESCAC, the youngest hockey team in the NESCAC, and the youngest team in the NCAA tournament. Lucas and his fellow seniors brought them together to gel, and as a result win a championship and get to the NCAA tournament. And the last, and to just kind of piggyback on what Wendy was saying earlier, his strength in the face of adversity is second to none in terms of people I've coached. He's had real adversity in his life. We're not going to get into it. That's not why we're here. But every day he showed up with that consistent mindset. He knew that the world wasn't fair, but he knew there was nothing to do about it, and he showed up and worked his tail off, and he made an entire team believe in him. His legacy is big. His legacy will be missed. But I'm excited that this award went to a fellow Mainer. Congratulations, Lucas.
Established in 1980 by contribution from the Trinity Club of Hartford for an annual award to a senior on a women's team who's achieved distinction in athletics is the Trinity Club of Hartford Award. This year's nominees are India Shea, field hockey; Christine Taylor, field hockey at lacrosse; Nadia Yusenko, squash and track and field; Kaylin Flaherty, field hockey; Bailey Highland, basketball; and Sarah Lopez, squash. The winner of this year's Trinity Club of Hartford Award is Kaylin Flaherty from field hockey. Head coach Jim Carmichael would like to speak about Kaylin.
But our players continue to work really hard through our non-divisional season. And Kaylin is an athlete who quiet and quite shy until a whistle blows. And then you better watch out. Our season this year, the entire team, the athletes that were all put up for this nomination can attest. It was an amazing, amazing field hockey season. We had challenges along the way, but what we had that other teams didn't have, we had Kayla. And those of you, and I want to thank so many of you that are probably sitting here today who came out to support this team at the Final Four. To fill our bleachers was an amazing, amazing experience. But you saw what this young woman could do. And my remarks are short because my hopes are high. And I get to coach her maybe next season as well. In which case, maybe I'll have more remarks next year. But Kayla, you did us proud this year as a captain. I think without your leadership, the team would not have managed to get where they got. First team All-American, first team All-NESCAC, first team All-Tournament athlete, and just the first team human being in my heart. Thank you.
Congratulations to all our nominees and winners today. We're so proud of the resilience of our teams in the face of the pandemic and so many other challenges on our campus and in our lives. As we close the program and wind down the year of athletic competition, a few thoughts on what lies ahead. For our graduating seniors, we're so appreciative of everything you've done for this institution and your teams for the past 4 years. You'll always be Bantams, and we look forward to seeing the transformative change you all bring to the world in front of you. We're also excited to see everything our returning and incoming students do with the opportunity in front of them. We want all of you to push each other with ideas and innovation, but remember, everybody's on the same team. Everyone's part of Trinity Athletics, and we can go further together, and the world might just be a little less threatening, a little more conquerable when we have others in our corner. The etymology of the word compete is com, which means together, and pete, which means rise up and strive. Competing is raising up each other and striving together. I can't wait to see what we do when we raise each other up and strive together for the bright future of Trinity and our entire athletic department, and we look forward to starting that in just a few months. So thank you everyone for this year. We want to thank everybody for coming. Best of luck to all of our students. I know a few of you lucky ones are already done, but best of luck to everyone on their exams, and congratulations to our graduating seniors. We're going to ask our award winners to come down front for a group photo, and all of our Chi Alpha Sigma inductees can pick up a certificate. And for everyone else, there is food with grab-and-go containers in the field house as we made that last-second adjustment. So food in the field house, award winners here. Thank you, everyone. Have a great summer.